You're on a path you're here to... terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill. It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. Like I said, we've just met for the first time, you and I. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight. Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear? Crystal, let's just get on with it already. The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's get moving. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. You already wasted so much time in the woods. Who even cares if there's a mirror? I care less about that and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago. Now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting. You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally! It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening. Good. Sounds like my kind of princess. As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, a large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes! I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces. Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
All right, fine. I believe you.
What? What you said earlier in the woods, I believe you. You've already met the princess, and the princess has already met you. That's all the more reason to take this seriously.
You don't know that whatever brought the two of you back to life isn't a fluke. And beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die. going to take that silence as a sign that from this moment on, you're going to treat the task before you with the utmost importance and seriousness. I'm so glad that we're finally all on the same page.
You look exactly the same. What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You haven't decided? We talked more than enough last time. Do you really have anything else to say? Or are you just stalling because you're scared I'm going to kill you? If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
Blade held tight in your hand, you take a cautious step towards the princess. You stop a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you.
She's a lot bigger than I thought she was.
Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Well, what do you want? Because every second we waste talking is a second we could spend killing each other instead. Why wouldn't I want that? Why don't you want that? It felt good last time. It felt right. And it makes sense. I stopped caring because I found my purpose.
The princess flashes a sinister grin.
You.
Does she mean her purpose is killing us?
No, she means fighting us. She means both of us getting stronger through sheer pain and will, the fear of death no longer able to hold us back. Just start stabbing her already. I'm sick of all this anticipation. We're ready.
I woke up, didn't you? Ugh, I care, okay? I guess I just care differently than you. When I saw you come back down here, I thought you would understand. I thought that we would want the same thing. But all you've done is ask me annoying little questions. It's like you don't even want to enjoy being alive.
I wish you could hear me right now. I want to enjoy being alive. I want to fight.
I like it. It's so cramped. Like the only way out of here is through each other. I know. You already told me. You don't either.
That's right, not everything has to be so violent.
That's pathetic. I would never do that, and I hate that you even suggested it.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. She's She's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact.
She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her. If that's your plan, then that's your plan. You push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing. We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm. You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. And you find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
Princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood.
If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
So what, you'd have us cower in a corner?
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other. and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here.
Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me. It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why wouldn't the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. glasses is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See, we have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it. Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. And let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter.
I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. The worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised?
It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time. There'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. Turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
Can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run. I really don't like the sound of this. It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting. We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow!
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your sword hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me! Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head!
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Oh, we'll see about that. Traps aren't real. The only thing that's real is bloodshed.
She charges, fully determined to end you in a single move. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh.
It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we? You just might, but don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady.
More. Keep going. We can't stop now.
You spy an opening. She's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground.
Nothing. These blows are nothing to us.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something...
And? She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? He is.
Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here.
The world didn't. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
It's like it's mocking us.
Let's just stay still. I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel. I know only that they are. You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends? How can the world have ended if we are talking? You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Everything, until we meet again. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine. You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.